All right, Wally, got any concluding thoughts?
I want to tell all women, I don't want you to make excuse of not learning AI. Just learn it. Don't tell me I'm a mom. I am a mom too. I have two kids, one of them special needs. Don't tell me you have a job. I have two jobs. So I'm busy too. And then both jobs are coming with big responsibility. So I make time to learn AI. And don't tell me I'm a single mother. I am a single mother. Don't tell me you are traumatized. I come from war zone. So do not build excuses for yourself and stop yourself from learning AI. Learn it, explore it, see how it works, compete with it. You can. So don't make any excuses. Just wake up and learn and reshape your tomorrow. Just do it and don't be scared of it. I just want to thank you so much for having me again today. And I hope this message goes to all women across the globe. And again, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to have hopefully 1,000+ episodes to this podcast. And we think that DataGen for her is going to be a global hit. Even just looking at what we have in front of us with the ambassador there of Iraq. So we're looking forward to navigating that opportunity and bringing this program to women across the globe. So in conclusion, I would just say a couple of things. Okay, we talked about jobs data here today. Last 12 months aren't necessarily indicative of what the future is going to look like. We think that we are on a down tail of a hiring curve. The trends say that it could be related to tariffs, could also be related to AI. All right, but how we advocate for learning is that we think that everybody at this point in our professional lifetimes, our professional careers, or if you're a young person, you're aspiring to enter into the workforce, we think that you have to start taking it upon yourself to start learning daily. These days of getting a degree or getting a certificate and resting on your laurels for a year, 2 years, 3 years without learning, those days are gone. I think that every day this AI is getting tired. This AI is thirsty. Every day, every minute of every day, this stuff is learning. This AI is our competitor, okay? And it is probably going to displace most of us. Now, the timetable to that displacement is purely in your hands. It's purely in your hands. If you sit back and you do nothing, when I say nothing, I mean in terms of learning, if you do nothing, there's a high probability that if you're in a white collar job of some type, I don't care if you're as high as a McKinsey & Company, or if you're, as you want to call it, as low as a data entry person, right? This AI is capable of doing some of your work. And I'm a financial guy. I've been doing financial analytics for 20 years. I've experienced bookkeeping, right? I've experienced data entry. And I'm absolutely saying here today that AI can do all of that. Used to be a time when you show up in the room, if you were a cerebral person, you were well studied, you were the smartest person in the room. Those days are gone. This AI is the smartest person in the room, right? And it's bringing its knowledge to everyone. Now, in order for you to absorb that knowledge, you have to use these tools. And it's a couple of things I want to leave here before I conclude. The first is that now we're in an era where it's a redefinition of what a job means, what business means, and what purpose means. And many of us, when we put our suit and tie on to go to work, we're a doctor, we put our scrubs on to go to the hospital, we define our existence by our work. The former President Joe Biden would always say the importance of a job to a person, where people needed their job. And many of us, our identity is our job title. What's about to happen, though, is that might be stripped away from us. We may no longer have that job or that job title because of AI. So what then becomes of our purpose? How do we redefine ourselves? I talked last podcast about the ability now for us all to be curious and explore causes. Be passionate about something maybe outside of work. Something that could materialize into work, into a business idea. I think if you're there in the workforce, be curious about entrepreneurship. Be curious about how you can reinvent yourself using this AI. Have the AI tell you, especially this conversational AI. You got ChatGPT, you got Gemini, you got this thing Claude, you got Copilot. So you got 3 or 4 of these things that I know are adept at giving quote unquote counsel and help you really explore what life after your current job might look like. Okay? So it's going to be a redefining of jobs. Businesses are going to have to redefine themselves too. And ultimately, what that means for your purpose in life. How do you see yourself navigating the rest of your existence? The second thing I think is key is that we have to all understand that the end of truth is here. Like, you're going to go to YouTube. You're going to go to a variety of social media platforms. You're going to read stuff that might be fake, might be a lie. And I think each of us have to discern or have to understand that. This is where we talk about awareness and ethics. You have to question everything. You can't just watch a video or reel and take it as fact. You got to question everything because AI isn't always telling the truth. And when you're using this conversational AI, it don't necessarily give you options. When you go out to Google or Yahoo, you go in and you type in, you're looking for something, you put it into that search field, it responds with a bunch of different links. And these links are all unrelated to some degree. You then go through those links and figure out what you want to use as your source. What's happening now is your source is ChatGPT. And you have to be careful to not just use what Chat says, what Claude says, what Gemini says, and take it as fact without questioning it. And that's where we think programs like DataGen for her are so important. Because we not only teach you about these tools, we teach you about how to leverage these tools, and we talk about the ethical implications of these tools. There's a certain thing called human in the loop that we explore in our ethical module that helps you understand the importance of human beings being in the loop. And we can't have a certain segment of us in the loop, right? We have to have us all in the loop in order for this AI to work best for all of us. I think Walla mentioned the dangers of not having people in the loop. In the loop is meaning controlling it. Controlling it means putting data in it. So there's a risk to having half the world, okay, in the loop and the rest of us not. So again, we think DataGen for her, DataGen Scholar, these programs are going to be key. And we're positioning ourselves to offer these programs across the globe. And the last thing I would say is for us, when we think about our programming and again, why we built the DataGen for her program, we think about women, we think about mothers. I have a mom, or sons, you guys got a mom, right? Sister, right? Wally, you got sisters, you got a mom. We all know moms. But moms, women are decision makers. They're leaders, they're visionaries. They guide families, they shape cultures, and they influence markets. But what we're seeing, even what Harvard is saying, they're oftentimes being left behind in tech, especially with this AI. And so for us, when we think about our work, we just try to imagine what will happen when a mother understands AI. We think she can guide her children better, she can grow in her career, build smarter, and empower stronger communities. That's the mission behind DataGen for her, to give women knowledge, tools, and support they need to lead in a data-driven world.